Club. Club going up on a Tuesday, Josh.
On a Tuesday. That intro song sounds like a song that's on the radio, and I cannot think of what it is.
Oh, really?
And every 30 seconds, I got like the tune in my head, and then it changes a little, and I lose it.
Away.
One of these days, I'm gonna listen to that on a loop till I figure it out at some point, or I'm gonna
there you go.
Shazam it and see if it tells me what it thinks it is. So, anyway.
Well, I hope you figure it out. Welcome in. If you're hanging out live on this Tuesday night,
not to go, by the way.
You are a patron. We very much appreciate your patronage at patreon.com/IDClub. If you're listening at a later date, perhaps after Friday, it means that it is now available on YouTube, and it's available in your favorite podcast app. We would love multiple things from you. Like and subscribe to the YouTube page. Very easy to do. You get the notifications for whenever one of our podcasts goes live, including but not limited to After Nebraska Ball, which is coming up tomorrow, the Nebraska Ball Brunch Show, which is coming up Friday, I-80 After Dark, which is coming your way Saturday night, and a whole lot more. We would love you to do that. We would also love, Jack, if our glorious subscribers went to their favorite podcast app. And I was actually looking at metrics earlier today, Jack, and I found that the majority of our subscribers of the free feed love Apple Podcasts. They mainly listen on Apple Podcasts. You know what you can do on Apple, Jack? You can leave a 5-star review and a rating and a review like Kent Pavelka did. You could be
Pavelka. You could read it.
Kent Pavelka.
We don't make that up. Pavelka left like the first. Is it the first review?
The first review. We've had people give us 5 stars before, but we had never, ever had somebody leave a review like Kent did. Love these guys. 5 stars. I love hardworking broadcast brothers. These two, quality for our fraternity. Look at that.
It's in the Discord chat now. Not photoshopped.
Not fake.
Not photoshopped. 2 days before Halloween.
That's real.
You can see it. So, yeah. No offense to the podcast listeners, Josh.
Oh, wow. But
I forget about them. Since we've gone to YouTube, I forget that this is a podcast.
It
in
is.
Some ways.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like I totally, that blows my mind. So
when we do our board meetings, and one of the things that we like going over with our board members is some of our podcast downloads and what things are looking like. We share that information. And every time we do it, Jack's always like, "Oh yeah, people listen to the podcast."
Bruce says, "Thanks,
look at all
appreciate
those
it." You're watching it, Bruce. I wasn't talking about you, very obviously. Listen, if there was only some song we could write that would be like about someone who is used to an audio format, and then like the video format came along,
and
kind of took away. No, not killed it. But took it away in some way from existence.
Interesting. Maybe you could write that song.
Probably
you could write that song. So we would love for you to do that. Whether or not maybe you're here every single time that we do a podcast. We do have regulars who show up for every one of these. Go hit up a 5-star review. Leave us one. It'd be very, very nice of you. So that's one.
Listen on Apple Podcasts. That thing sucks. Sorry,
I'm an Overcast boy. I'm
Spotify.
Boy.
I'm Spotify.
Yeah, I'm Overcast. Yeah, you can't leave reviews on Spotify, but you could give us 5 stars. More people have given us 5 stars, Jack, inside of Spotify than they have inside of Apple.
I prefer.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Give us 5 stars wherever you do.
Maybe we'll come up on people's Spotify Wrapped in a few weeks.
That would be awesome. If we show up in your Spotify Wrapped, please do let us know. That'd make me really, really happy. Really, really happy. So those are the things you can do. A couple more things real quick before we get going into the Dana Holgorsen at all. We're not trying to delay the inevitable. I mentioned After Nebraska Ball coming tomorrow, 9:30-ish start. Jack Bigelow, Caleb Henry. That's coming tomorrow night. Again, 9:30-ish. There will be a Nebraska Ball brunch show Friday morning, 11 o'clock. And then the usual goodies on Saturday, 9:30 in the morning. And then 8 o'clock at night, recap in Nebraska and USC. Also, Jack, as I get ready to post this right now inside of the Discord, people have been wanting to gift memberships to the I-80 Club since we started. That is now possible. I just shared the link. If you would like to gift someone in your life a membership, you can gift up to a year. You can do up to 12 months. You could do as little as 1 month. Whatever you do, you can do it with that link. What a great gift for your friends and family for the holiday season.
Everybody under the tree gets a 1 month sub to the content
Oh,
or community tier. Amazing.
yeah. So you
Amazing.
can do that now, which is
Special
badass. We
Christmas
think
for
that's
the family.
yeah. We
That'll be
think that
nice.
that's super cool. We think
That'll
that's
be
super
awesome.
Cool.
That'll be very cool. Oh, one other thing too. One last
Yeah.
thing, and then we'll actually get to content. I hate when podcasts do this, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
But this isn't a podcast. We've also made a Google Calendar. There's also a Google Calendar. I should get the link right now. But if you use Google Calendar and you just want to know when our shows are and look at it visually that way instead of going to the links or doing it that way, that does exist. It is in the club business room right now. So just scroll up a little bit and you can get to it. And you can put it on it's the greens on my calendar now. So
perfect. There you go. All right. So go check all of that out and more. All right.
Jack. I will put it as pin corny. Thank you. I will do that after we finish this or tomorrow probably.
Perfect. All right. Jack, Dana Holgorsen is the offensive coordinator for Nebraska.
What? Man, I should have prepped. No kidding.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Jeez. Well, I've been saying I would hope they would get him offensive coordinator mid-season.
You were demanding. You've been demanding. Yeah, you've been demanding for months that they fire Marcus Satterfield. They have fired Marcus Satterfield. Your thoughts? What I mean, you've been kind of. I know we talked about it yesterday on the Grum, but I have not talked about this with you otherwise. I don't know your opinions on this. You've had a chance to sit in your opinions. Where do you want to begin as we dive into the Satterfield and Holgorsen of it all? And also, people are talking about the playoff rankings in the chat right now, so that's fun too.
We might have to look at that.
We can talk about that.
I'm glad they did it. I've never opposed. I've never been a necessarily a Satterfield fan, and like saying keeping him keeping him was not my end game. And if you thought it was, you weren't understanding the nuance of my take, which is a shame because it was very well put together. But no, I've been dying for a change. I was disappointed on Monday when they last Monday, and I told you this, that they didn't change play callers then, that they didn't, because there were the rumors like, ooh, something might happen. And I'm talking about this Monday, but the Monday before. And there were some rumors flying in the chat that maybe something's changing with the play callers. And I was like, ooh, that'd be okay. They need to change, because I've said at the end of this season, you have got to raid this offense and it's systemically broken. I didn't really think there was much of a chance that they were going to do that still during the season.
Yeah.
But if there was a chance of it, I was fine with them trying. Now, why am I excited about it? Not because I'm sure it's going to work. Not because it might work. It might not. But I am just excited because it gives me a new level of sort of interest, a little bit more hope. I wouldn't say I have full hope. It's a little bit more fascinating for the rest of the season. I think that can bleed into the team too. I think just the act of making a change, we've seen it, Josh, all the times. You know, New Orleans Saints, I'm thinking of right now, right? When somebody makes a change mid-season and then all of a sudden they play weirdly better during it. After it happens, we've seen it happen. So I think there's a potential of something like that happening here. Although again, I don't know if I feel super confident that it will, because I think there's a ton of other issues, which was my main point, previously when it got too simplified to just this being the only problem, even just the only problem with the offense. So those are my thoughts. I'm glad. Let's see. I'm looking forward to Saturday.
What are you most glad about? Are you glad that the monotony of the season now takes a turn and it's intriguing? Are you glad that Satterfield is no longer calling plays? Are you glad that you think that it can be improved? What do you think you are most glad about for the final 3 games starting on Saturday?
I think what I said, most importantly, I think maybe it infuses a little energy into the team and gives them a better chance to win because of that. That's the thing. And then secondarily, just for my own personal enjoyment and my own purposes of talking about the season with you and on my radio show, it just adds a little bit more interest. The fans aren't quite as bitter and checked out on the season. So I think those are the biggest things for me. But especially how the team, just the fact that you're changing something up, you're disrupting something with the pattern of where that offense has been.
Yeah. Weinberg writes, the firing is not the surprise. It's the unprecedented timing and move of an OC who is new to the team with 3 games left.
100%.
Unprecedented, has never happened.
Which is
wild.
why when everyone said fire him wanted him fired during the season, I was like, come on. I mean, that was part of the reason
horribly.
Part of the reason I rolled my eyes so much when we had to do this every time.
We should have been rolling our eyes at you, actually.
I did not ever think. Here's why I didn't think it would happen, Josh, because I thought there was a shot. Okay, would they would they just switch play calling duties to another assistant on the team, right? With somebody else? I don't think they're going to just trade roles on the team, but that seems more likely than bringing someone in literally days before a game.
Yep.
To get to know the offense and become its coordinator. You've got 13 days, 12 days. It was happened on Monday or Tuesday, right? 10 days.
He announced he said that, and this is the TikTok of it all from Rhule. He says Sunday night he decides that he wants Holgorsen and he wants Phil Snow involved with the program. He reaches out to, I think he said he reached out to both of them, right? But he certainly reached out to Holgorsen. He said yesterday when he did that, he was hoping that it would lead to Holgorsen calling the plays for the last 3 games of the season. That's what he said yesterday.
That was what roles may evolve meant.
Yes. And so he brings him in. He announces it Monday. He says they're going to bring in outside people. Again, he had reached out to him Sunday. Brings him in on Monday, or announces they're bringing in somebody. They announced Tuesday, or it's reported last Tuesday, a week ago today, that Holgorsen is on the staff. At some point last week, because I was told by one of my sources that it was last week, and Rhule basically, confirmed this in the presser yesterday, that at some point last week it was then officially decided that he was going.
He said Monday or Tuesday is what he said.
Yeah. So he then decided that, and then obviously he makes the announcement immediately in the press conference yesterday, because that was going to be the question: is, hey, who's calling plays?
Right, he was the first
and you hit on something a couple minutes ago too, that there were all these hot and heavy rumors last week of is something happening, something happening, something happening, something happening.
So they were kind of right.
Yeah, and so in the end, was it wish casting, or was somebody? Because I never heard anything.
No, it wasn't coming from you. It was coming from other people in the club who seemed to be. I should go back and look at the chat, but I got a text from someone who asked me, really? I hear yes.
That whole heard last somebody reached out to you
2 Mondays ago in the morning. Yes, I heard they're going to make a change with play calling.
Okay, because 2 Mondays ago, yes, there was a rumor going around a couple of weeks before. Yeah. Okay, that's what.
Sorry, I thought that's what you were talking about.
And I reached out to somebody, and I didn't even hear back from this person, so I was like, well, that was a stupid question. I guess they're probably annoyed by the dumbassery of my question, and that's why they're not even going to respond to it. And then so it ends up happening. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating, man. Because again, he wasn't in the program a week ago.
It's freaking crazy. I mean,
wild.
It's crazy. I mean, it is a crazy move, but you also have nothing to lose, almost nothing to lose, right? What is the worst case scenario? And is it worse? Is it in the realistic range of scenarios? Is the worst case scenario of this worse than the best case scenario of standing pat? Realistic.
What is the worst? What's the worst case scenario?
You lose all 3 and the offense is terrible.
Boom, exactly. Is it, I guess the worst case is oh God, the offense is worse than expected. He is not the answer.
Or they
or he leaves,
he quits after what? His hands in the I can't do it. Nope, can't do it.
Good.
Back to I'm going to finish out the season at TCU. My role will evolve there.
Yeah, that would be wild. But if he decides shit, this isn't for me. I don't want to be here.
How about this scenario? The offense sucks, plus they turn it over a ton. How about that? Yeah, that could be a that.
But that kind of has been happening. That's why I only view this as a net positive. I only view it as a net positive.
Yeah, I think I do too. I don't. It's low risk because there's not really an opportunity cost.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And like you said, what's the worst that can happen? They go 0-3 like I expected them to. Who cares?
Right?
And especially
we're gonna do. If Satterfield was a lame duck, it's not like you're cutting off his chance to retain the job and stay and relationships and all of those things anyway. If that was the case, it makes even more of a reason to do that. But I just I don't I think it's still maybe a little bit of a long shot to work. I just don't think there's a lot of opportunity cost, so I support it. And it might even, outside of the substance of doing it, it might trigger just a different energy with the program and with the team that could be beneficial.
Yeah, here's a fun question, because Weinberg writes, in the pool of OC candidates, even in the regular end of season movement, where would Holgorsen fall on our list? If I was putting together my list, if like, let's say, Jack, that they were playing out the string, they never had brought him in, they never had brought Phil Snow in.
Oh, yeah. This is a good question.
He was going to be my number one.
What? This is your dream candidate?
Of course. Who else would you have above Holgorsen?
I don't have a hot board of coordinators like all you weirdos do. I have no idea.
Yeah, and I
can't name any
the
coordinators.
Weirdos have taken over the discourse, baby. Maybe you should be listening to us a little more, Jack.
I don't have
the walls of Jack Mitchell are crumbling before him. Everything he thought was impossible has now begun to happen.
I'm trying to think how many offensive is Norm Chow available? Is he still around?
Nice.
I'm trying to think of some. Oh,
is he still alive? Yeah.
If he is, now, I would give him a call.
Now, Corny writes number one ? Exclamation. So here's why he would have been my number one, because they'd already kicked the tires on him. It's this. I don't have a hot board. My opinion, the list was going to be him. What's his name? Quarterback coach Glenn Thomas. And then there's another guy that people have mentioned multiple times. Is it Nixon? I don't remember. Is it Nixon? I can't do a Nixon. I'm not going to try. But there's another. There's a. I am not a bad play caller. There's not another guy. There's another guy, and maybe his name is Nixon. I can't remember who it is. Nick Saban, I think. Yeah, Nixon at Syracuse.
Wait.
Is that who it is, Mark?
All these people who are dying for a new coordinator, or like you leading them up, couldn't even think of anyone.
I just gave you three names. I just gave you
sort
three
of
names.
You did.
They got the guy I wanted them to hire.
One of them is the current quarterbacks coach. I mean,
no, I was going off of like realistic hot boards, not like, the ultimate hot. Like Joe Brady would be number one.
Well,
they're not going to.
iFormation said he wanted Signetti, which
that very realistic.
He's going to be looking for maybe to move up.
Very realistic. So like that's why this is sweet. They've already done the thing that I wanted them to do. Moving into next year. D'Lo, handling it like he does any piece of information. Worst case, halftime versus Wisconsin, and Dana is missing. He stumbles onto the field during the third quarter, hammered like Hopper and Hoosiers.
Like Hopper. That was the first thing I thought of before you even said it.
Great reference, D'Lo. Excellent reference.
He comes out saying picket fence.
Oh, excellent reference. Yeah. So there you go.
iFormation said it. Yeah, there we go.
Bateman wants to know, Jack. John today kept talking about how it feels like a desperate move from Rhule. What does Jack have to say to that?
Yeah, but is that a negative?
That doesn't have to be a negative.
I wanted him to be desperate.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes, he needed to do something. Yes, this was careening with negative momentum down the hill at this point. And the UCLA game took it to a level where that was really problematic. The negative momentum in the season was getting shorter at that point. Something needed to change, whether it was personnel, whether it was, strategy, whatever it is. Again, I did not think it would be the actual offensive coordinator. So be it. Here it is. Something changed. Yes. Is he desperate? Yes, Josh. You can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in the words that he said.
I'm happy you said that. I thought the same thing. I watched the presser live on yesterday. I watched the presser live Monday. And then I re-listened to it when we played some clips. And I was like, holy shit, man. He does not sound in a good place right now.
And he should be. We've talked about the implications of ending this. We talked about it last week. A whole lot, you and I did. About the implications, what the offseason and next year looks like if this team ends the entire season on a, 6-game losing streak.
Oh boy.
7-game losing streak.
It'd be 6-game losing streak.
6-game losing streak doesn't make a bowl.
10 in a row when they have a chance to go from 5 wins to 6.
We talked about that. You should be doing everything. I mean, listen, you have got, because that puts him in a huge hole if he wants to continue to be the coach here.
Dare I say a hole that he would be unable to crawl out of?
I wouldn't say unable, but I would say he would be in a huge hole already.
Yeah, well, we're going to have Dirk Chatelain on hopefully early next month after the regular season and hopefully ahead of a bowl game. And we can talk about a lot of stuff with him. But one of the things that Dirk has talked about before, Jack, is like he has the research on coaches that miss bowl games in their first 2 years. Outside of like Bill Snyder, one of the greatest coaches of all time, and I think a handful of others. it's not good to miss bowl games in your first 2 years. And it's certainly not good to miss bowl games in your first 2 years in an era of 80 bowl games. Like, if you can't make a bowl game in your first 2 years, and if you can't make a bowl game when you have a chance to lock up a bowl bid over the course of 10 games, like, you're right. Can we say definitively it's not going to work? No. Would I feel comfortable in saying it's not going to work and we're probably playing out the string? Yes. Just because it's so hard to crawl out of that. It really is. He's already lost a lot of the fan base. He'd lose even more.
The vibes would get so tough. There would be no wiggle room before the vibes get toxic.
Yeah.
Right.
Which they already are, right?
Right. And then the season would start, but if it did, you would have no wiggle room, right? No. You would have to come out just freaking gangbusters, and you would not have the kind of the space that you would have in year 1 or year 2 if you get in that situation. So yes, he's desperate. Yes, it's a good idea. It's probably a good idea if he's got something he thinks he can do right now, even if it's a major change to increase their chances of winning. He should do it because it's better. It's in his best interest. It's in the team's best interest, and it's in all of our well-being's best interest right now as fans.
100%. Jim and O'Neill writes, you literally cannot with the fans. People always bitch about Frost not showing any desperation. Now Rhule shows desperation and we bitch. That's why, among many reasons, like, hell yeah, thumbs up, sign me up for this move, Jack. It's like, people around here have wanted for years. One of the things that I hated hearing about Matt Rhule, and people will still say it because McGuire's on the staff or I don't know, everybody who's on the staff. Oh, he hires his buddies. Everyone always hires buddies. I hate that opinion because, first of all, when a coach goes to a school, what are they supposed to do? Hire? This isn't Abraham Lincoln. You're not going to do the team of rivals. He's not going to build his cabinet with people he hates and he doesn't know. You build it off, like, he doesn't know Tony White. He didn't know Tony White. So he asked around and he brought Tony White in, correct? Like, you do, it's a combination of who you know and then who people that you know also know, and you bring them in.
Correct.
Well, so people kept saying that. Oh, it's his buddy. Oh, it's his buddy. And I was thinking, look, he's not going to be on the staff next year. Give it time. And so now it's happened. He has shown the desperate move that people have wanted with head coaches around here. Dare I say, Jack, going back to Callahan, and I'm sure others would say Solich or even Osborne, where it's like they want them to make the move. Okay, he made the move. And then the follow-up, though, is always, okay, who are you going to hire then to make this worth it? Like, one of the things that pissed me off about Frost, among many things, was when they've moved on from Walters and they brought in a guy who had been working at a credit union. Like, that's not a move that Alabama makes. Alabama doesn't make moves where they bring in credit union coaches to be their OCs. They just hired a guy who was a head coach a year ago. As Huss says, fucking Dana Holgorsen. This is Dana Holgorsen. This is a massive, massive move. And that's why it's like, thumbs up. At least he's trying. This is awesome. Whether it works or not, I have no idea. But this is a way better hire than we have seen at offensive coordinator in years. Happer said it yesterday. This is the most accomplished OC that Nebraska has ever hired. And he's right. Go through the Rolodex in your head. Troy Walters, Sean Watson, Jay Norvell, Barney Cotton, Tim Beck. And then they get this guy. He was a head coach. This is great. This is a great move. Whether it works or not, I don't know.
Turner Gill.
Mark. Well, he wasn't the OC. He was just a quarterback's coach. Mark Whipple.
Yeah. Frank Solich.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He was offensive coordinator. People forget.
People,
you know what you were saying that I was thinking of? Mark Banker. I know he's not an offensive coordinator, but you talk about somebody who did make a desperate move and fire a buddy. Yeah. Mike Riley actually did it.
Well, did he do it or did his
whatever.
I
mean, yeah, you're
right though. You're right.
That's true. And it was interesting because when we did that, remember when we did that podcast with Burkle, and didn't we talk about that? How maybe that wasn't the right decision in hindsight, because Banker maybe would have had the potential of
not losing the locker room.
Of not completely losing the locker room and improving, but they brought in Diaco, right?
They did indeed. Yeah, and that fell apart, obviously. Not really.
Yeah, that was the wrong desperate fire.
Yes, it was. But that was on I-Course. That was I-Course.
I assume so. But it just made me think of that. But again, back to the desperation thing. I don't understand how that's a critique right now. He obviously has to be. He's got to win. Josh, I don't know how to say it any other way. He has got to win one of these last 3 games.
Yeah.
Or you are in, you're in a complete Hail Mary situation.
It's bad. Yeah. The vibes are horrible. Even you are starting to say, like, I don't know if Matt Rhule can get it done. When you've lost Jack, You've lost them all. You don't want to lose Jack.
I just know what that atmosphere is going to be like and how hard it's going to be. And you got those vibes are so important with the transfer portal now, Josh, and more important than they've ever been in an off season like this. So the off season would just be it'd be a tough hang. And I'll say it again. I know I said this repeatedly. It's been my line, but I'll say it again. The difference between 5 and 6 is so much bigger than between 6 and 7 and 7 and 8, or 7 and 8, or even 6 and 8 at that point. That's the biggest gulf by far. You got to get over that one first.
100%. 100%.
Yep. All right. Gabe Irvin, I figured it's time for me to start playing ball as he goes to the town hall. We got a town hall happening in town.
I rewatched that movie a couple years ago. Good movie. Good movie. That's probably been about 3 years now. I like Hoosiers. Some people don't like Hoosiers anymore.
Let's do an entire Hoosiers remake based upon this season.
Oh, interesting.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Is Matt Rhule Norman Dale? Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Probably.
Uh-huh.
And the school administrators, Dr. Susan Elza.
Nice. Hey, there you go. Perfect.
Or the school
Absolutely
teacher,
perfect.
Yeah.
G. Merle says Nebraska will need to come in clutch again if football misses a bowl. Dude, I don't even think that would fix anything. I don't even think that would do the stuff that would fix it. Man. Bad times. Bad times. Bad times.
Jim O'Neill, who the hell doesn't like Hoosiers? Yeah. Okay, so let's talk. So now, have I satisfied everyone with my take on this? Is it consistent enough for everyone?
People want you to apologize a little bit for
I'm not apologizing.
Yelling at us saying it's stupid. This is a waste of time.
I continue my critique of constantly going to the low-hanging fruit as the only.
Is it low-hanging if a coach does it the 9th game of the season and we all admit that it's a desperate move? I would say that it is not low-hanging. I would say that this was properly hung fruit. Properly hung.
We will see. If Josh, my apology comes when they get their bowl bid.
God, let's hope they beat. If they beat USC, I'm going to yell at you much on Saturday.
My apology comes when, and that's okay with me. I've said that it's okay to talk trash to other fans when it's a win and things go well, not the other way around. That's my rule. That's one of the Jack 10 commandments about being a fan. Now, I got to figure out the other 9.
I was going to say we need the other.
Now, if they get to win, Josh, if they get to win 7, a little bit bigger apology, okay? A little bit more passionate.
What if they win the last 3? What if they win the last 3 in the?
Then I owe you all. If they turn the entire freaking season around and the only thing they change is Sadie isn't calling the plays anymore and Holgorsen is, then I owe everyone a huge, massive, happy apology. And so you guys can tell me what I need to do to make it up for you. If they get 8 wins, you guys are going to name it for me. What do I got to do? Okay.
Keena writes, you need a step ladder for this fruit. Yeah, it's not low hanging, Jack. You need to climb up and
if they win, that's only true if this works. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You guys and Rhule could have just been wrong, and I was right the whole time. We still don't know, but I'm backing off that. I want to be wrong. I am passionate about being wrong.
You love being wrong. No one loves being wrong more than Jack.
I am passionate about being wrong on this. Okay, I'm investing.
Is that what it is?
Yes, I want me to be so freaking terribly wrong.
Nice.
And I hope I have to grovel.
Yeah.
I hope I have to get down on my knees. We'll move the camera. I'll get down on my knees if they get 8 wins. And I will say I was wrong. Okay, whatever you guys need me to do.
Keena writes, wow, classic negative Jack cheering for Rhule to lose. You want to be right, as always. Jack's going to say, I was right. I want to be right.
I just freaking said I am passionate about I'm so invested in my own wrongness here. What about that was unclear?
Matt writes, Jack is desperate to be wrong. Humiliate me, Dana.
Yeah,
Jack, no kink shaming. No kink shaming on the I-80 Club.
Humility, right? Yep.
Oh,
yep.
man. That's what I need, Jack. Give me groveling.
Yep. I'll sit on the couch and watch Dana just run up points all over the place.
I love this.
With my football team.
I need to do a little Photoshop work on something for the I-80 Club because I could put your face, Jack, on. Oh, is it going to post? Oh, mother. Good Lord. All right. Well, so much for that. It was going to be the GIMP in Pulp Fiction, but for some reason it wasn't a JPEG. So that's annoying. There we go. Nice. It only took 2 seconds more.
But don't count your chickens, folks. I mean,
don't count.
I'm not cheering for it, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, okay. Here's the question: is like, what does this actually look like? Like, what does Dana Holgorsen actually?
What can he do, Josh?
What can he do?
Like, again, you got to learn the names and numbers of the players. I think that's number one.
Yep.
Then do you just get Saddy's play sheet and do them in a different order? Right? Like, is that it?
Yeah, he's like, so what have you been doing? Oh, so I do this play on first down. That's not a first down play. That's a second down play.
You need to run the ball on first down.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Or does he just do like when you go up to the line of scrimmage and flip play on the video game?
You know, what would be the funniest outcome beyond them like winning and the offense suddenly is like good? If they start running screen passes that work, I'm going to laugh so hard. That would be so funny.
Josh, what is the funniest thing they could do super well out of nowhere? That probably screen passes. If they're just like incredibly blocked.
That, or if suddenly they're hitting deep balls,
or hitting deep balls
with all year.
If Banks and Nair look like All-Americans, that would be the funniest.
Like, whoa, look at Banks, he's blocking,
especially Banks. Yeah, Banks just coming out on the first play, and they bring
Ja'Cory
Barney around, and he just pancakes the living crap out of someone.
What if one of the fun trick plays actually gained like 30 yards instead of just 10?
Right.
That would be cool. That'd be cool. My favorite play.
I think as a tribute to Saddy, though, it would be nice to run. You know what play? If Dylan's healthy, or maybe you got to have Kalen in there in the Dylan role. Heinrich at running back. I think we know what I'm talking about. Lateral pass.
Oh, there
throwing
we go.
It back to the quarterback. And 7-yard pass for a first down. And Josh will be like, this is the guy. I knew it.
That play.
He knows there's one good play left in that playbook, and we saved it.
Matt says 80-yard touchdown by the running back.
Yeah, a long run. That's another one. Matt's exactly right. Like a first quarter, just long-ass run by the running back.
Yeah.
Josh, I still claim I have not seen. I should look at film and verify this. I still have not seen a play where, like soccer offside, if you draw the line, where there is a Nebraska player holding the ball and no other defender between that person and the end zone. Has that happened this year?
Good
I don't
question.
think it has.
Good question. Alex, what do we think Dana wants for yards per play?
That would be hilarious if somebody asks him that. For the
my gosh, question. Kevin Suit should ask him. Hey, what do you like? What do you aim for yards per play? That would be great. That would be excellent. That would be really, really funny. And very well played by Kevin if he did that. Very well played. Very well played.
Funny. Yeah, I don't know what it'll be fascinating. Do you think we'll feel like a perceptible difference in style or something, or pre-snap movement or anything? Like had someone not told you this happened, if you've been living under a rock?
That is the question.
Would you be
Will it be actually
there's
like,
something?
Whoa. Yeah.
What happened? Did you lose weight? Did you get a haircut? What happened there? You know,
you're trying to figure it out. You're like, something looks different.
Did you always wear glasses?
I don't know. Ben writes, I mean, it's going to be a different quarterback. Hey, we have gotten 35 minutes into the pod, and we have not mentioned, we don't know who the quarterback is going to be on Saturday.
Right. If only you had more depth in the quarterback room. Speaking of, Jack was right.
Oh, here we go. They have depth. They have a former starting quarterback, Jack. This is the way you got to go.
That's the freaking funniest thing in the world, is that Holgorsen comes in and then he might not have. And all that we talked about last year was how you had to scrap the offensive plans because Harburg was a quarterback and you were going heavy run and you didn't have any wide receivers and you had all this. And now it's like a game where you've got a flashback to that situation with a new offensive coordinator, basically.
I formation real quick before we go to quarterback. Higher total, rushing yards per game under Dana, or the proof of one's preferred liquor? That's a fun question, especially in relation to Dana. Simple told John and I today, Jack, that he would bet on Dylan Rhule starting the game. So I don't know how plugged in he is. I mean, he does talk.
The guy doesn't know anything. He doesn't have any sources.
He does talk to Dominic.
So that means that guaranteed Harburg starting.
Either that or Gramstad. So yeah, I tend to.
Oh, that's interesting.
I tend to think.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I'm afraid they're gonna play him, and he's not 100% though.
Yeah,
That's like my big fear.
Yeah, it is. That'd be a bummer. I think it's gonna be him, and then we'll see if how healthy he actually is. But I think he's gonna play. Jim and O'Neill says Kalen. Man, a lot of people keep bringing up Kalen. Why is that? Is it because he is an unknown and people want to see something different? Or is it because they think that he's like actually good?
Because they're afraid they're afraid Harburg's going to be a turnover machine, and
yeah,
I guess there's.
Jim says that was a joke. My bad,
Jim.
Jim. Because there are people who are saying that seriously. I get asked like once a week at least.
Because he's a local kid. Well, Harburg's a local kid too, though.
Yeah, but he's a local kid, and everyone knows he sucks. So.
It's because he's never played. It's because the backup quarterback who hasn't played is always fascinating to everyone until he plays.
Especially an unknown like this. Like, we literally have never seen him before. People do love backups, and they love backups that they haven't seen.
Keena just said the same thing I did. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, Keena, better coming from you than it was from Jack.
That's not true. It's the same.
Huss is positive. Look at this. Going to beat USC, guys. We are going to win.
He is all in on this was the problem, and this changes everything.
It might. Probably not, but it could. It's possible.
This was a problem, not the problem. That's what's
the problem? What is the problem?
I don't know that there is the problem. The problem.
John says that the problem is upstairs. It's mental. It's the psyche of the program.
Very well could be. That's one of them.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That's one of them.
Is. Jim and O'Neill, the play calling was dog doo-doo. It definitely was dog doo-doo. So this circles back to the question that we were discussing a few minutes ago. If you turned on your television on Saturday and you had no idea that Nebraska made a change at offensive coordinator, would there be something that you would see and say, whoa, this is different? Beyond, if they're better, Jack, could you actually pick out why, or would you just say they're executing better? Or will there be something about the rhythm of the play calling that suddenly looks a whole lot different, that they take advantage of the skills of players in a way that they have been unable to take advantage of the skills of players? Is there anything that they can do that won't just look, wow, they're playing a little bit better tonight, versus something is different, something looks different, and the coordinator is the reason that we need to give them credit?
I think I think if, and again, it's going to be hard with Harburg in. That's the problem. Well, Harburg, you said Dylan's going to be in, so maybe that's irrelevant now. The biggest thing, Josh, is if not like contributors who weren't doing much, you referred to this, but if contributors who weren't doing much are looking a lot better. We can name names on that. Okay. Jamal Banks, number 1, Nair, number 2, all of the running backs, number 3.
Yes. Yeah. It's a 3-way tie. It's a 4-way tie. 3-way tie.
Right. That's those are the 3.
Yeah,
those are the 3. I think I'm not sure. I don't know that anybody else has been any of the other skill positions. There's not that many left, but that have been sort of underutilized or have not been playing up to their potential. So that's number 1. Number 2 is if there's a lot of different like pre-snap something to look at.
If they got window dressing.
Yeah, that would be another one.
Yep.
And then I don't know, I don't know what else, Josh. What else would you look for? What else could be a giveaway?
Laura writes, I'm wondering what the running back rotation or lack thereof will be like.
That's true. If the running back rotation
does your boy finally get involved, Jack? Do they finally get Mr. Gabe Irvin?
I don't think so. He was still outside of the oars on the depth chart. So
yeah, tough luck.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't think there's anything you could do with running back rotation that would. I mean, they've kept Dowdell in. I mean, I guess if they kept Emmett in a long time, that would feel a little different, but I don't think that would do it for me in terms of saying, whoa, this feels really, really different.
Yeah. Keena says it's hard to say how much can really change in a week beyond calls.
Yeah, that's true. And Josh, I guess the only other thing is just like if receivers are open frequently and noticeably in a way that they haven't been all year, because they haven't been. For the most part all year.
Yeah, well, and even when they have been, the quarterback for some reason hasn't thrown it to him, at least over the last
they've
month.
Especially not been open, though.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
D'Lo writes, we think all this changes in 10 days. I'd encourage everyone to temper expectations. See, what's funny,
saying...
D'Lo, is like, no one is really saying things are going to change. I feel like D'Lo is arguing against something that is not even out there right now.
Well,
Outside of us, who is very positive, I think all of us are just like, what can change? Probably nothing.
I think that it was just a question, like, what would tell you that what would be best case scenario that it would feel very different. I'm not guaranteeing this is going to happen by any means.
Yeah, Huss is saying it will be a lot different. I am not saying that, and I don't think that it's going to be like crazy different.
We're just sort of looking for like posts that indicate that this is working, and it is, there is a clear change in style, in philosophy, in coaching, whatever that it is exactly. I don't know if they'll be there. It might look exactly the same too.
Yeah,
I'm not super confident in that, for the record.
Alex says, Jack, handshake meme D'Lo arguing against hypothetical person. That is a very well played joke. Very good. Jack and D'Lo coming together yet again as best friends. Here's the thing, Jack. Can they find a touchdown a game? That's what this is about in the final three. Can they find one extra touchdown per game? Can Dana Holgorsen deliver that? I think that is what you should hope for.
What about right down the field and score?
Yeah. That would be pretty tight. That would be really, really cool.
Tight.
They have not scored. What's the most points that the offense has scored, Jack, versus a power conference team in the Rhule era? I believe it's 24 versus Illinois.
Versus Illinois.
Yeah.
A very good game. Very good
game. Very good game. So can they score more than 24 points in any of these final three games?
24. That's the number. That includes last year?
Yes. Dang. And this is offense. This is not pick sixes. So, last year versus Purdue, they scored 31, but they had the block kick.
Dang.
Versus Colorado, they scored 28. They had a pick six.
Man, imagine telling yourself that stat 2 off seasons ago.
Hell, imagine telling yourself that stat after they whooped up on UTEP, saying, they're not going to score more than 24 points against a power team. Yeah.
No kidding.
You would never have believed that.
Whoa, D'Lo says they're going to need 30 on Saturday. He is in on the UNLV quarterback, and he is in on Lincoln Riley. Just ripping up the Nebraska defense.
I watched a little of Mayava, right? That's how it's pronounced. I watched a little bit of his highlights from UTEP, good Lord, from UNLV. Yeah. Got some mobility. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Definitely something to keep an eye on. I'm looking at the College Football Insiders breakdown, Jack, and they disagree with D'Lo. I'm going to post these numbers in the chat, but they have their projected score is 24.33 to 21.82. So basically a 24-22 game, USC winning. Dang. That wouldn't be depressing at all, Jack. A 2-point loss on the road where you only score 22 points. Everyone would handle that very well. And when we do our post-game show on Saturday night on the ID Club YouTube page, like and subscribe. That would not go over very well. Not go over very well at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they've put up some decent points at home on offense. That's true. Mm-hmm. That's true.
Day fight, I'm with D'Lo. USC much better team at home than on the road. They definitely are.
Last game beat Rutgers 42-20.
Yep. They played Penn State close at home.
Yep, they only lost by 3 to Penn State. I forgot about that.
Yep.
They turned it over like crazy, but beat Wisconsin 38-21.
Yes, they were down at the half, and they put together an
just turned it over like
half.
Absolute crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So why do they bench their quarterback? Because they want to make sure this guy's coming back next year.
I think haven't they turned the ball over a ton? Isn't that what was going on with Miller Moss? Also, they keep losing.
They lost to Washington, but
they lost Washington.
They lost at Maryland. Yeah,
they lost at Maryland. They lost at Minnesota. What do they have? 4 losses, 5 losses now. They're not very good. They're a bad football team, aren't they? 4 and 5.
They won all. They all except for Penn State. They won all their home games. Lost all their road games.
Yeah, they're not very good. They're not very good. And hey, Jack, one of the things that you've been saying for weeks is like, hey, everybody else is also going through crap, and you know.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna get from them. I mean,
dude,
who knows what you
that's
get
the
mentally
thing.
They
are. You want to talk about a tire fire right now? That place. Like, I look, making a coordinator change and doing so when you hire a guy who was an analyst on the other side of the ball at TCU a week ago. All right, not great. USC is like dangerously close to being in true Lincoln Riley hot seat territory.
Yeah, like
things are not going well at all at USC.
No one in this game should brag about not being dysfunctional. Let's just agree.
Hell, the next 2 weeks. Next 2 weeks, man.
Maybe 3.
Wisconsin.
Maybe 3 the way it's going.
Yeah. Yeah. Corey writes, if Nebraska actually comes out and punches them in the face, they might fold.
Maybe.
See, USC fans are probably saying the same thing. All we got to do is punch them in the face earlier, and they won't
fans
respond.
Are checked out.
Oh, you
They're
think so?
out.
You don't think there's like the ID Club USC edition that's having the same Discord conversation right now, and they're like, "This is what we got to do," and someone's posting South Park gifs in there? You don't think that's happening?
I don't think that
USC
exists. No, I don't.
There's got to be a USC Discord full of a random couple of radio hosts who want to do a podcast to make a
bunch of LA bros.
Yeah. Hey man, I caught the waves, but did you see the quarterback change?
Now I'm imagining it's like Real Housewives. There's one of these in every city that's very stereotypical for that part of the country.
That'd be awesome. Travis says the I-5 Club.
The I-5
exactly. Club. Welcome into the I-5 Club, brah.
Their Wednesday night show is called Stuck in Traffic.
Yeah, they just do it from their cars on the way home. You can't do it at 8 o'clock unless you get off work at like 2 o'clock. USC Discord is $50 a month, says Laura. Yeah, you got to keep up with inflation on the West Coast, man.
They spend way too much. They spend first 20 minutes of Saturday morning coffee talking about the Dodgers winning the World Series.
And everyone's like, can you get to football, please? Can you get to football? Oh, man.
What's Shohei's injury status?
Yeah, their boardroom is like $80 a month. It is crazy expensive over there, but the content's good.
Courtney, this Pacific Coast Highway pod brought to you by weedmaps.com.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, man. What a weird game this is going to be. What a weird game,
if we
Jack,
really had a
going
great
to be.
time and a production staff, I would like to do, maybe we do this
one of
next
these?
year. We do we make graphics and we dress and we do this. We do a little skit for all of the opponents and what we think their idea
that is a great idea
would look like and sound like.
Okay, so now you have me curious for the 2025 schedule. I know that they have Cincinnati on the schedule.
Cincinnati.
You're just eating Skyline chili like a freak? Is that
the
what
Chili
you're
Club?
doing?
The Chili Club? Yeah, I don't know.
Welcome into the Chili Club. Please subscribe on Patreon. And you're just eating Skyline chili the whole time.
Yeah, it's like, hey, where's Gino Gaduli today, right? That's the big
I don't get that
conversation.
I don't get that reference.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't get that
That's
reference.
a completely random.
Both Michigan schools are on the schedule next year. Both LA schools are on the schedule next year. Penn State is on the schedule. Northwestern is on the schedule.
Ooh, Northwestern one will be fun.
Oh,
yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Just dress up in Shrek costumes.
I know.
Do you have your Coast boyfriend jersey down there?
Nope, but I got this for the Northwestern one.
What's that in reference to?
They're by a lake, Josh. You were there. This is my sailor's hat. My captain's hat, I mean. Look, it says it.
When I think of Northwestern, I don't think of a captain.
How do you think drives the boats on the lake? You don't think you've got to have leadership.
Yeah, but I don't think they dress like that. You look
you
like
don't think
goober.
There's anybody on Lake Michigan that's got one of these on? You're wrong.
Maybe
They're
one
all
person.
Over.
Maybe one
They're
person.
all over.
Jordan has given this a name, the Stereotype Tour. Let's see. D'Lo has the kid in Simpsons who's just playing with the Frisbee all by himself, and he says that's what the Northwestern chat is. Yeah. Yeah, you look like what's his name from Caddyshack right now, but that's not what I think of when I think of Northwestern. Adam, what are you supposed to be, a Scotch ass?
It says it right there.
Can't see it. Oh, captain. I'm the captain now.
Sorry, I'm hitting the mic.
No, you're good. We I think we can see now.
I love this.
So yeah, that's what they have going on over the course of the next few weeks. Wisconsin fans are miserable. Iowa fans are miserable. USC fans are miserable. And we're miserable.
Let's see who's the miserablest.
Yeah,
exactly. Who's Wisconsin and Iowa play before Nebraska faces them? Can you give me an answer on that, Alexa? Josh Alexa?
I don't remember. Let me look this up. I think Wisconsin played Minnesota's the last week. Oh, that's right. Wisconsin plays Oregon this week, Jack.
Oh, that's going to be terrible, right?
Yeah. Well, it should
Oregon's
be.
pissed because Maryland almost. Okay.
And speaking of Maryland, that's who Iowa plays the week before Nebraska.
Where at?
I closed.
They have off week this week?
No, they're at Maryland.
Iowa
I don't know if Iowa's off this week, but they're at Maryland for the 23rd.
I actually turned off I-Formation's lights with that.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
With Josh Lexa.
Yeah.
Josh Lex said, who does Iowa play this week?
It might be. They might be off, Jack. They might be off. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, they're off. They've already played 10 games.
Josh Lex said, stop. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Very cool. Very normal. Jordan says Iowa fans are prepared to give an ass kicking Black Friday. Man, that would be such a bummer. That would be just such a bummer.
They're prepared to fire their coach.
Yeah, everyone's pretty miserable there. They had 2 losses a couple weeks ago. Now they have 4.
I can't remember that game is in primetime. I cannot imagine that game as being in primetime.
I know.
It's so bizarre to me.
We're going to be in Denver for I think I mentioned this before, but we'll be there for Thanksgiving, which, by the way, Jack, we got to figure out pot stuff for when I'm out of town in Vegas and then in Colorado over the course of a week. But I keep thinking about that, how we're going to be over at one of my family's house watching the game at 5:30 Mountain Time. Like, that's going to be so weird. It's usually a morning game or an early afternoon game.
I know.
It's going to be a night game. It's going to be very strange.
Yeah, I'm going to like it, though. I'm happy with it. I'm glad with it. I'd rather
Tony says it's going to be so hard to not be drunk at my in-laws for that game. What do you mean? Just be drunk at your in-laws.
It might be better.
Yeah, what are you doing, Corey?
It might make it'll maybe, yeah.
Are you going to be home or are you going to be in Iowa in that really hot room where you wear shorts and tweet about it every year?
No, we haven't gone to Iowa for Thanksgiving for a lot of years.
Oh, bummer.
That was one of my best live Twitter bits was live tweeting my Thanksgiving from the hotel in Iowa, though. That was always good. If you go back in my Twitter feed back to like 2014, there's some really good ones.
Adam, how else does one experience their in-laws?
Yeah,
got to have a couple pops. I don't think I've ever been drunk around my in-laws before. Connor,
what did you put that through an Instagram filter? And why do I look so weird? I know that's what I look like, but there's something particular about that facial expression.
Connor, thank you. I'm going to tweet that out right now at I80.
Somebody's got a better one than that.
Nah, it's pretty funny though, Jack. It's pretty funny though. It's pretty funny.
Okay, so what else do we have? Do we have anything else to hit about this this week before that? You got any Phil Snow takes?
Dude, isn't it funny how he is also involved and no one ever talks about him? No one gives a shit about poor Phil Snow.
That's because nobody quite knows if he's been here since Matt Rhule got hired or he just showed up last week. Nobody has any idea. Yeah, he might have been on. For all I know, he could be on the sideline every game. I have no idea. I can't tell based on the intel on this.
He was the DC that Rhule originally wanted, but Phil Snow was like, "No, I'm too old." And he was like, "Okay, we'll hire Tony White instead." I keep wondering, Jack, how Tony White feels about this. I got a hot take for you. I think Nebraska now officially is going to have 3 new coordinators next year. I think they are going to have obviously a new OC. Foley is going to be just driving around the state eating food. And I think Tony White's going to leave. And I don't think he's going to leave to be a head coach. I think he's going to leave to be a defensive coordinator.
He might, but I don't think it's because of this Phil Snow thing. Because I think this.
No. I felt this way for a month.
Oh, okay.
At least a month. Maybe a month and a half. Yeah. Dave Fight, has nobody within the Nebraska media corps ever thought to FOIA the employment records for Nebraska's coaching staff? Dave, you're a media member. Why don't you do it?
Husker Max investigation.
Exactly. That'd be a good bit.
I was going to say, do they have to post these jobs? Are they jobs? Are they still contractors? Can you be a contractor and an offensive coordinator? I have a lot of questions about this. Yeah, actually, I don't. Strange. It makes it sound like
you hate talking about really assistant coaches. Yeah, I'm surprised that you even care about this.
It's the legal end of it that's interesting.
You look at it from the lawyerly perspective.
I'm still disappointed. You could only give me 3 other offensive coordinators that Nebraska could hire.
I'm not an offensive.
One of them was on staff.
I'm not an offensive coordinator guy. What do you think? I have all the names of all the.
You're
OCs?
Not an offensive coordinator guy. I've been around. All I've been around is offensive coordinator guys for the better parts of 2 months, and now people aren't offensive coordinator guys when I freaking need you to be.
I like firing people. It's fun. It's very easy. It's very easy to fire people who suck, who are not very good at their jobs, who are not very. Dave has added famously not media. Keep the donkey trolls at bay. Dave, you write. You write all the time. You're like Bill Simmons. You're the Nebraska version of Bill Simmons. You root for the team and then you write a column about it every week. Very Bill Simmons of you.
Local media wouldn't even ask about Dylan's health for the last 3 weeks. Was there really not questions about Dylan's health in the press conferences?
Just not as many as there should have been. For when Rhule just talked about it, on Monday, and it was like, oh man, I really would like to know a little bit more in defense of the media. And I hate.
Well, they were like, would he have started if the game was this week? I mean, there was quite a few questions about it last week. I don't know about weeks before.
And in defense of the media, I mean, he did announce that Dana Holgorsen was going to call plays. Like that was a pretty damn big story. Huss says, Josh, you don't think Dana's back? No, I do. I think Dana is the OC. I think there's a new DC, and I think there's a new special teams coordinator.
What's your DC hot board?
John Butler and Phil Snow,
okay.
I guess. Yeah, I think that's what they'll do.
Hiring the buddies.
Yeah,
Hiring
who's the
buddies.
other? Who else is
Who's
there?
his other buddies?
Good question. Who are Rhule's buddies? There was a question from Travis. Can I expand on why I think that he's going to leave? I don't know. Part of it is vibes. Part of it is definitely vibes of just bringing in Butler. Like, I don't think you make that move unless you want him to be the next defensive coordinator. I don't know. I just kind of think that it's going to happen. But
Pelini, some really good wrong answers only suggestions. Pelini, Jape,
Bill Belichick is free. Hey, there you go. Bill Belichick. That's not a bad idea. But yeah, it seems like it's just kind of leading in that direction. I could be wrong though.
How about Brian Ferentz? He knows about low scores.
Well, he's an offensive guy.
He knows about low scores.
He does know about low scores. Where's he at again? He is somewhere. I've seen him on TV, haven't I? How about Bill Belichick's kid being with Washington? It's so weird every time they show him. Steve Belichick. He's with the Huskies.
Was Belichick who had a son
Maryland?
who was just like jacked up, or was that Gruden? Gruden had a son that was like jacked up.
That was
on the
that was
sideline.
Yeah, that was Gruden.
Where's Gruden? Gruden's probably available.
He is. Well,
is he still problematic, or is that over?
I mean, it depends on how you feel about saying a word how it's
a new era.
It's a new dude. I think bad words are back, folks. You can kind of say wherever you want.
Where did Jim Leonard go? Great question, D'Lo. Where did Jim Leonard go? Where did Mark Banker go?
Hey, Corny mentioned the person that I was trying to think of. Ryan Walters would be a solid DC hire. If they can his ass in a few weeks, they should go after Ryan Walters, man. That would be awesome.
Is an analyst at Maryland. Doesn't Iowa play Maryland, you said, in 2 weeks?
They do.
Bowl?
Oh, wow. That's going to be awkward for everybody involved.
Man.
That's going to be awkward.
Is Ferentz's wife going to do the old Bobby Bowden wife divided sweatshirt thing? Clemson, Florida State?
Divided hat?
Divided hat? Divided
yeah,
Never Noi kid?
Yeah, there you go. Since divided sweatshirt, divided hat, something like
Ryan
that.
Walters.
She's a mom, so probably not a jersey. That would be a killer hire. Dude, if they brought in Ryan Walters, that would be an amazing coup.
They wouldn't be playing any loose zone defense anymore, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Hey, folks, do you like man-to-man? Well, do we have the new DC?
Do you like man-to-man, and do you love pass interference? Because if so,
we got the defense. But hey, if you have better players, maybe you get fewer offensive or fewer pass interference plays.
Iowa Maryland's got to be a trophy game now, right?
Yeah, who knows? Every game is a trophy game in the Big Ten, so you're probably right.
It's like a foot punting a ball.
That'd be pretty good.
Or something. I don't know. That's all I could come up with. I need some more time.
Anyone, bring in anyone that worked for Nick Saban. And yes, Alex, special teams coordinator hot board. Now that is something sadly.
Yeah, come on, Josh. You guys want to change? Let's hear it. Who could do better?
Who has the best special teams in the country? Find them and bring in somebody from them. Do you remember, Jack, a few years ago when the rumor was going to be Bill Snyder's kid was going to be the special teams coordinator?
No, I don't remember that. Really?
Before he went to USC, yeah. A lot of people really wanted him.
What about pluck someone off of Frank Beamer's staff from the late 90s? They were good.
That person's probably an old. Oh, thank you to Dave, who points it out. Obviously, Bill Bush. Hey, Jack, that'd kill two birds with one stone.
There you go. Start clearing out.
Nebraska. There you go. B.
Clearing out my competition.
Yep,
that's what I like. No competition. I don't like to win on my own merit. I like them to be hired away.
There you go.
Your next step.
That would be perfect. Adam writes, resurrect Frank Beamer. He's still alive.
Is he alive? Is he around?
Well, I mean, he goes to games sometimes, I think. I feel like I saw him this year.
He didn't coach that long ago, did he?
He didn't die, right?
Justin Fuente replaced him, right? Or was there a coach in between them?
No, it was Fuente.
That was 2018.
Yeah.
I mean, Frank probably still has stuff in his locker.
Yeah, he's still alive. Okay, good. Thank God he's still alive. Keena says, get Damon on the staff too. Why the hell not? Hey, there you go.
This is a great game. Name the coordinators, wrong answers only. Mike McCarthy's probably going to be available.
Yeah,
right?
Hey, there he is. There's Frank Beamer. He is going to be available. I don't know if we want him involved with Nebraska at all. The game has passed Mike McCarthy by. It is time to move on.
He could be an analyst.
Nah, I want to these pictures of Frank Beamer. Good Lord. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord.
Carl Bopolini. I got to do better. Carl Polini. Let's go.
There's a lot of stuff that hey, at the very least, if Carl comes back, that means that the Stibbs mom jokes are back on the menu, boys. And that would be very, very fun. Look at it.
No,
what Dave just posted. Dave, I'm dying. I had missed from Alex. He has risen. And then the next photo was a break.
The chat. If you're listening on the podcast now, you should have spent $8 to have been in the live Discord audience because
I'm posting this on our Twitter. That is too good, man.
Because it's all Frank.
Oh my gosh. So funny.
I'm spitting.
That is good. That is getting tweeted out. Can you imagine not subscribing to the I-80 Club? It's a great place. It's an amazing place. We all love it.
Last question. If
whoops.
Tony White leaves, when are we going to get the first suggestion of the old Peters and Windstrom co-defensive coordinators?
Oh, please.
Yep.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, that's coming.
Oh, Lord. I don't want to think about that.
Thank you, Courtney. I mean, I know it's I know it's something. I don't.
Now people are just posting pictures of Frank Beamer. Oh, Lord.
It wouldn't be that higher, though.
Wait, what? I don't even know what you're saying anymore.
Special teams coordinator, Beamer.
I'd
take it.
Be sweet. Frank would be awesome. Frank would be great.
He's no older than Mark Whipple, is he?
I'm still laughing at the he is risen one.
Wait, I didn't see that.
I mentioned it. You got to scroll up. Dave posted it. He said it's Hall of Fame worthy because Alex said he has because someone else had said resurrect Frank Beamer. Alex said he is risen, and then Clint posted a photo of Frank Beamer.
I thought he responded. He is risen indeed.
Oh man, what a pod! Oh, good Lord, what a pod, Jack.
Yep. Just a lot of me not being wrong so far.
Yeah. Amazing. This is incredible. You are so wrong on everything.
There's not been a game played, so how could I even be wrong about anything?
Because you said it was stupid to talk about it because they would never fire him in season. And
I didn't say that till after the fact. That was never my argument during. I just thought that in my head.
Interesting.
It was never publicly said.
Oh.
You guys think about the way you need me to grovel. And if they listen, maybe wait and see if they win against USC, and then it's probably worth talking about. Okay. Then we probably need to start thinking about my apology then. The 8-win apology. The 8 apology. The 8 apology.
It needs to get to 8 for you to apologize.
Well, I said I would apologize, but I would go all out if it's
you'd grovel. I would
grovel. I'm imagining the name of the show be the number 8 apology.
Okay. I would like to see you grovel. I would like to see you grovel.
All right, so you guys be thinking about that.
All right.
Jack Mitchell 8 apology. Day after the Friday night after Thanksgiving or Saturday morning.
Jack moving the groveling goalpost. Now that is the name of today's podcast. Thank you, Keena.
That's why we had to go 4 minutes late so Keena could finally name it for us.
That is great. Fight. Can you explain John's take on the Satt firing? I tried, but I don't understand where he's coming from. I honestly cannot. I do not understand. It's very confusing to me too, which is why I've asked John a million questions the last 2 days. So
here's Kevin Kugler interviewing a former Iowa basketball player. If anybody wants to see update,
what?
Former
Are you drunk?
20 of the zone. No, just having this. I was at a school concert, so no. Just the Frank Beamer stuff has me.
Jordan says well hung fruit. Yeah, the well hung fruit. Maybe that's the. What's a better title? Jack moving the groveling goalpost or well hung fruit? All right.
You'll have to. Yeah, I can't decide. That's too close to me.
Too close. By the way, a reminder coming up tomorrow night after Nebraska ball. Jack and I literally just received a text from Caleb Henry. Night and day difference, he says, with his internet today. There should not be an issue with it tomorrow. So that will be perfect because that was the one critique. Jack, there were 0 critiques except for one, and it was Caleb's internet sucks. So it seems like that will be fixed for tomorrow, which we love to hear. That's
good. Also, there were people mad that our heads were at different levels. I can't.
That is a good take. That is a good take.
Confirm. It's we do the different screen where it's like full screen And
yes, we do this screen.
Yeah,
this.
it's
Oh, whoops.
Whoa.
Sorry.
When you do that full screen vertical thing, that's a lot.
It is.
It's a different level of intimacy.
It really is.
But
it looks better because we have we have this graphic.
Can you just make it like
see like that?
But could you cut off the top and bottom and just make it straight? I don't know.
I could add like a thing on the top as
Look, I can't even figure out where my head goes on this.
Yeah.
Like if my head's in the right.
You want me to add something on top? You want me to add a top bar?
Hold on. Okay. I'm going to keep my head in the right place for this, and then I want you to do it. Okay. See, it's covered up. I got to stand up. Got to halfway stand up, and I got to back up because otherwise it's like, well, I thought it was a good night by Bear Cave Beacon Gel. I'm not sure if Gavin Griffiths is going to be a liability defensively.
You want me to put a little thing on top? You want to make it look a little widescreen?
Maybe it is just hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll figure that out after Nebraska ball. I guess there were two critiques, Jack. You were right. There were two critiques. Caleb, your internet is shitty, and then there is a difference between the amount of heads on top. Oh. a lot of screenshots.
Oh,
this
God.
has been one. So we got that coming tomorrow. 9:15, 9:30-ish is when that one will start. We hope to see you over on YouTube. I won't be there, but Jack and Caleb and Bigelow hope to see you over on YouTube. Thursday, no pod this week. Friday, Nebraska Ball Brunch Show on Friday morning at 11 a.m. Saturday, we have both of our shows. Oh, get the bull, baby.
Guess what's back Saturday? Saturday night. What could be in here?
Oh.
You heard about it happening with the Stanley Cup, but have you heard it about the Nebraska Bowl? Because that's what this is, baby.
I'm trying to find the really cool picture that I had of you pouring it. Yeah, I can't find it for
Saturday night. I'll write the date right here, and I'll sign it, and I'll keep it up there.
Oh, that would be glorious. That would be glorious.
Up on my little swag bookshelf.
Ooh, Travis, Jack's hung fruit bowl. Now that is good. Oh, man. All right, so we have coffee, and then we have our post-game show coming up Saturday night. We're starting at 8 o'clock. So we hope to see you on YouTube at 8 o'clock. And then another Nebraska basketball postgame show after Nebraska ball on Sunday. And that game is at noon, right, Jack? So that'll be at 2:15, 2:30-ish, right in the middle of the games, but before Chiefs Bills.
On St. Mary's?
So that'll be
Is that perfect. What you're talking about? Is it noon?
Yeah, that's a noon game, isn't it?
I don't know. I can't think that far ahead.
Wow, I thought you were the Nebraska basketball
fan. That's 15 shows from right now, so it's hard to think about that.
This is the second of 7 shows this week, so it's quite the week. Like and subscribe. Hey, if you're hanging out, if you're listening to this for free, if you're watching this for free on YouTube, thank you very much for making it an hour and 8 minutes into this podcast because it has gotten very much off the rails. Like and subscribe, please. We would love to have you as a full-time member. At the very least, though, if you just give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you download your podcast. It would mean a lot in all seriousness as we continue to try to grow this thing more and more, which we have this football season. This football season, Jack, the team still stinks. But, man, it's been fun this year. We have grown very much across the board, and we're having a good time, I think.
We need to get 500 subscribers because we are flirting with an idea where if we're at 500, we'll have super chats. We'll have super chats, and we may just put a camera on me during the Nebraska Creighton basketball game for the entirety of it.
Yeah, if you want to watch Jack watch the Nebraska Creighton game next Friday, we are 85 or 86 people away on YouTube from being able to do super chats. Help us get there because Jack will then be on camera for the entire game, which means that Friday Jack would have a pregame show, watch along, and postgame show all in one.
And a bunch of rich Creighton fans are going to spend a bunch of money on super chats to taunt me, and we're all going to get rich.
Yeah, we love that idea. Then the first round of beers are on us when we do our.
That's right. We'll put it right in. There you go, Josh. Any super chat money earned from Creighton fans, we'll put in an account for an I-80 gathering.
And we'll do an I-80 gathering next year for the first time with the entire club, and we'll have a great time. So, yeah, go like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I found out recently that my in-laws, all of the family that is on YouTube or has an account, Jack, they have subscribed to the I-80 Club on YouTube. So tell your friends.
The Riss family does?
They subscribe to the
Nice.
YouTube page, including like a 10-year-old. So thank you, 10-year-old.
Very cool. Sorry about the bad language sometimes.
Oh, crap. We did say the F word a couple times tonight. Our bad. I'm sure they've heard worse.
I didn't.
Yeah. I was reading a comment from Huss. Keena, this is how trickle-down economics works. And with that, we will say goodbye for the night.
Your brother-in-law said it. All right.
Jack, we are back together on Saturday. I will look forward to listening to you and Bigelow and Caleb tomorrow night for the next After Nebraska Ball.
Saturday morning is going to be fun. Saturday morning,
fun.
the bowl will be out. We will be ready.
Oh, yeah.
Optimism will abound.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Tears of your enemies.
There it is.
Tears of your enemies.
It ain't going to be Diet Mountain Dew going in at night, though.
I really want you to be able to drink beer out of that. That'd be so much fun.
It'll be so sad. It'll be in addition to Matt Rhule's hole that he's dug.
Yeah,
we'll never have the bowl moment.
All right. He's Jack. I'm Josh. Thanks so much for joining us inside of the I-80 Club. We will talk to you later.
Peace.